creation of.
This call is now being recorded.
In this session, we will go through explaining the importance of teaching learning resources, how technology will help us to create the teaching and learning resources, why we have to use the teaching and learning resources, what are the different types of them, and how to create the effective PowerPoint presentation, and last one, how to create a video using various tools. During this session, I have divided this session in 6 different parts. Sorry for the wrong numbering on the slide. The first part will talk about the learning resources, and then we will travel from the old learning resources toward the technologically developed learning resources and how we can take the help of technology to create the e-learning resources. In very short, I will tell you about why we have to use the Moodle for sending this e-learning content or making this e-learning content available toward your students. And at the last of the session, we will have the demonstration on how to create the effective PowerPoint presentations. So let me tell you where first, when every student is admitted toward the program, he has to go through curriculum. After going through the curriculum, the student is able to get the degree and he is become a professional in a particular course. During his journey from the curriculum toward become a professional in a particular branch, teaching learning resources work as a catalyst. So without teaching learning resources, it is not possible for the student to go through whole curriculum and come as a professional. So to become a professional, he requires a teaching learning resources. And these teaching learning resources work as a catalyst. So I given the name it as a catalyst. So these teaching learning processes which are developed by the teacher that not actually taking part, but they increases the learning of the students. And hence I put this name to the teaching and learning resources as a catalyst. So with this briefing, we can say that teaching and learning resources are nothing but any person or any material which is generated at the local level or which is acquired from somewhere else with the instructional content or function that is used for formal or informal teaching or the learning purposes. So any material, that is any person or the any material which should be used for the teaching and learning purposes, it is called as the learning resources. Let it clear out from one of the example. If the teacher is asking toward the students, draw a picture of the rabbit. Suppose here is the teacher and this teacher is asking toward the students that you have to draw a picture of a rabbit. I am taking a very simple example. What is the probability of the student can able to draw a rabbit? Can every student draw a perfect rabbit or the same rabbit? Yes. If a teacher is asking to draw a picture of the rabbit, what would be the probability that student will draw a perfect picture of the rabbit? At the same time, if the teacher is showing the picture of the rabbit toward the students and then asking that draw a picture of the rabbit, then definitely student will draw the rabbit as shown in the picture. They will have the idea about how rabbit looks like. So here rabbit is working as a learning resource. So actually the aim is not to have the rabbit as same as that looking inside the picture, but this is called as a rabbit and you have to use. So it hastening the learning of the students and hence it is called as a learning resources. So here is the question for you, my dear colleagues. So we have saw the definition of learning resources. According to this definition, there are the various examples are written on the slides, which is not a learning resource. Yes. Out of this, which is mentioned on the slide, which is not a learning resource. Please comment in the chat box. Sachin Nitave sir says that non-teaching staff, building. Okay, very nice answers are coming from the garden, teacher. Is it related to syllabus? Is that related to syllabus? All are learning resources. As Sahiman says that teacher, non-teaching staff. Okay, more answers are coming as non-teaching staff. All are resources only. Thank you for such a sharp and timely answers coming from the participants. Let me tell you one thing. The learning resources are different for the different teachers, for the different students. All your answers are correct because you couldn't find it as a learning resource, but somebody could be able to find it as a learning resource. As rightly identified by the Nilima Thakur ma'am, Shahi ma'am, Prakash Nargatti sir, Anthony Praveen sir, that they found out these all are the learning resources. So this is their capability that how they utilize this as a learning resources. If somebody can't able to say that the garden is not a learning, he is also right or she is also right because she couldn't able to find something to use the garden as a learning resources. So let me clear here that you can able to have your own learning resources choices. So what is a learning resources for one? Someone don't want that learning resources as it is. The objective of learning resources is support, enrich and enhance the educational program. Whatever the educational program is running, how it should implement, it is supported by the learning resources. So it is the responsibility of the professional staff to provide with the learning resources that are appropriate to the needs, so that are appropriate toward the students. If your institute is situated in the rural area and you are utilizing the very high-fi technological resources, then the students are not familiar with that and they will feel shy, they are get stuck up at one point. So it is necessary to use the appropriate as per the need, which are able to create the interest inside the students and at the same time you have to identify abilities of the learner. So these learning resources, as already said, they help in the teaching learning processes by creating the interest inside the students. So it is possible that there are some boring subjects. Student always says that this subject is a bore for me. This subject is bore for me. So if teacher utilizes a particular learning resources, so this learning resource can able to create the interest inside the student. So the boring subject will get converted into an interesting subject, right? So we have to select a particular learning resource for that. As in our department, Dr. Chaitali Pawar ma'am is there. She teaching the cognosy. In the cognosy laboratory, there are the sections. The adults are there. The sections are included inside the syllabus. How the sections of the coriander, how the section of fennel, how the section of adulsa, Aradoda Vasika. What ma'am has done, ma'am asked the students to get the leaf from the surrounding of the institute and take the sections and watch the difference. So these things create the interest inside the students that these are the differences between the leaves of the plant. So in this way, you can able to create the interest inside the students. The learning resources also helps to stimulate the thinking ability of the student. So once the learning resource is a particular and if it is appropriate, then it can able to stimulate a thinking process inside the student that leads to a newer question. Newer question, again, increase in the knowledge. Learning resources also create the positive reinforcement inside the student that they want more and more learning about the subject or about the topic. And learning resources makes the teaching and learning processes more and more effective. Whatever the message which is teacher want to send toward the student, it is appropriately and up to the mark it is sent toward the student if you have a proper learning resource used. These learning resources also creates the good opportunity for the teacher as well as the student that it creates the communication between the student. Student tries to discuss the things inside them. It is able to generate the different questions, and this question leads to further knowledge of the students. It is able to create the peer-peer learning. That interaction is possible because you have the appropriate learning resource and it is able to achieve the desired outcomes. And for this, we want a learning resources. It is not only the case that learning resources should create the interest inside the student, but also it can encourage the active learning inside the students. Not only the learning, apart from that, it is able to develop the different skills inside the students. Now we always have the problem how the student becomes the lifelong learner, how to teach them the ethics. So it is possible with the help of learning resources, we can able to teach them the ethics as well as a lifelong, how to become a lifelong learner. If you are giving them a physical resources, if your students are taking care of that physical resources so that it should be used by the next year students, then already the students are having feeding of the ethics in them. So these learning resources are also used to develop the different skills inside the student. In addition to this, students can able to adapt the various values and attitudes through these learning resources. Now, Question maybe comes in your mind as we are moving from a traditional classroom toward a online classroom. What is the role of technology in teaching learning process or in the development of the teaching learning processes? As there is the advancement in the technology, we know that we are shifting from 1G, now we are in the 4G, and likely to be shifting to the 5G in coming 1 or 2 years. So if you look at this paradigm shift in 2005 or 2001, it is very hard to send the files from one phone to another phone. We are using the Bluetooth. So with the Bluetooth, it is very hard to send the high capacity files or high size files. But as we are in the 4G, it is possible with the tip only. You can imagine what happens in the 5G spectrum will come. The communication with the surroundings, the communication amongst the world goes on increase and increase. So with this increase in technology, what we can achieve in the teaching and learning processes? We can able to achieve with this teaching and learning processes by providing access to the wider range of freely available sources and resources. So it is our job as become a teacher, we have to find out the learning resources that are freely available on the internet, on the different university websites. You search them, find out its appropriateness, whether it is needed for my students or not, and give the access towards your student. This new technology also helps to provide the new tools for both staff as well as the students. As we are going to learn about the Moodle, that is the learning management system, it is one of the tools for the learning, which is useful for both teacher as well as toward the students. Moreover, we can use the social media also for the teaching and learning practices. The new technology also enable the modes of delivery of the curriculum, how the curriculum should be taught. Now in the new education policy, it is said that you have to teach online also. So you have to use the technology for going for online teaching. It is very much easier for assessment of the students and take the feedback from the student for increase our effectiveness with the help of technology. Otherwise, what's happened, we have to distribute the pages toward the student, then the student will write on that, then we have to plumb the data, and then we will come to some output that this is the area where we have to improve. But with the help of technology, it is a very simple route. It also supports a new flexible learning spaces. Some students are able to learn at different spaces, different learning styles of the students that can be adopted, that can be addressed with the help of the new technology. It is also important to improve the capacity and capability for the student support. So with the help of new technology, we are available 24/7 toward the students. So this new technology can able to transform the teaching learning process and helps toward the student for accomplishment of their goals. But it is only possible when institutional system and technology are flexible and appropriate. If your institute will provide such a technology, then it is possible. If the students are engaged in the subject matter and the delivery, then and then it is possible. Otherwise, student will engage in a different social medias or the social software. They are not engaging inside the teaching learning processes. Students are supported to become a digitally literate. Some students find it is very difficult to access the Moodle. For example, for that you have to literate. For that you have to take the demonstration toward the students. Learning technologies develop students for their professional careers also, and staff development is required for giving the ideas, giving the hands-on the new technologies. Then and then it is possible to transform the teaching, transform the learning of the students with the help of the new technology. So we can use this new technology to transform the student learning. There are 6 major opportunities. That is the availability of the stuff. The widest material is available on the internet. No doubt. Something is false, something is good, and something is overwhelming. You have to find out the best suitable for you from this deep sea of the information. There are the new many types of the tools are available for the staff as well as for the student. Like Byju's is there, like Khan Academy is there. So you have to find out the various tools. Google Classroom is there, Moodle is there. You have to find out the best suitable tool for you and your classroom. There are the various new methods to deliver the curriculum. There are the new methods of the assessment of the students. There are n number of the things are available. There are many methods to support toward the students, and you can able to address the each and individual student learning style and the stress with the help of new technology. The matter is that you know where from you get these things. So this is the question for you, my dear colleagues. How far we have traveled towards transformation of the learning? Yes, put your answers inside the chat box. How far we have traveled towards transformation of the learning? Please give learning resources and learning activities. What is the difference? In my view, activities done. Thank you, ma'am. Actually, I'm not getting this learning resources and learning activities. Yes, they are the different. Yes, you have answered the same. Activities done with the help of learning resources. Yes, Sachin Mitavesa says that very little we have transformed. Only baby steps are taken. Okay, hardly 10%. Object oriented nowadays. Okay, means from teacher centric to student centric. Yes, yes, definitely. We are now not only delivering the lecture, but we are also taking care that whether students are learning or not. Very less. Yes, definitely. As per your responses, we have traveled very less towards the transformation of the learning. So what? Now the question comes, if we have not traveled so much, then what? The effective learning resources can allow students to work at their own paces, give the students different alternative and explanations. If you are providing a single topic through the 2 or 3 different types of the learning resources, then it is possible to catch up the learning spaces of the different students. It is not only the case that teacher has to develop all the learning resources. You can take it from other sources too. But for that, the searching is necessary. Provide the richer learning experiences by expanding the range of expertise which students will confront. So whether students find out their comfort zone. So as we go through the Moodle discussion, Moodle will allow the students to work at their comfort zone. So if a student want to solve the assignment at 10 p.m., he can able to solve it. So Moodle will gives you a flexibility and student can able to reach up to you with the help of the Moodle. So you have to provide the better and better sources toward the students. Provide material in a different media formats that suits the different learning preferences of the students. Save this time by resolving student questions and the queries. So that is done by with the help of technology and avoid reinventing the wheel. So if you are able to get the best learning resources from outside, don't engage your time to develop them at your own. Never. If you get it from the outer source, then save your time. Directly send it toward the students. That's it. So in this way, you can able to search the learning resources which are effective one. And we can use these resources to change and improve our teaching. The effective learning resources gives us the opportunity to innovate in our approaches to teaching and learning of the student. So this might be the case happens to you also. When you use one of the learning resources for teaching one of the topic, at that time you can realize that, oh, in the past I teach same the topic, but it puts the hurdles. Some of the students can't able to get the information. But now, as I use these learning resources, the understanding level of the student is getting increased. This might be happens with you. Yes, when you use some sort of the learning resources. Yes, is this happens to you? Sometimes. Okay. Yes. Kiran Shetty sir says that yes. Yes, definitely it happens to you. Now the various types of the arguments are coming from the teacher sides. Like we have limited access toward the stuff. We don't have the camera. We don't have the internet bandwidth. We don't have the library budget to acquire the resources, to get the subscription, to have the paid subscription of the various platforms. So these are the regular arguments coming from the teacher as well as from the institutes. So because of limited range of the resources availability, it is not possible to acquire the new technology. Right? Another argument is we have more focus on the print and the text material. What happens if the data is get vanish out or data is get deleted? Then we don't have the data. Moreover, it is not possible to read the text on the desktop or on the mobile as it is readable inside the books. And we all love the printed materials. Another lecturer is always seen as the guru and the expert. Student always thought that the subject knowledge is only and only coming from the teacher. What book is taken by the teacher to deal inside the classroom, student also read only that book. They are only dependent on that book. They are not going to try the another author's book. Is it the case? Another is the delivery. Our classroom are seen as a main vehicle for introducing or overviewing each topic or the section of the module. We always thought that student has to attend 100% classes so that we can able to deliver the content toward them. And the workshop, seminars or the laboratory work is always followed by the lectures. You are also in line with me that when we teach inside the classroom, we always teach for a whole period or the whole time. If the lecture is for 45 minutes, we always consume that 45 minutes in the teaching. If it is 1 hour, we always teach for 1 hour. But opposite happens inside the practicals. We never take the practicals for the 3 hours. Sometimes it is possible. Sometimes we conduct the practicals for whole 3 hours. But frequently it is not possible. As soon as the practical is over, we left it out. Another is lectures. Lectures are personally crafted and owned and may take a lot of time. So, no doubt. Some of the teachers deliver their best of best in the traditional teaching, no doubt at all. And we are not saying that the traditional teaching should be completely substituted with the help of technology teaching. No. And student depend on the lecture output. That student always says that we want the notes. We want these notes for this particular chapter. They are always depending on the notes. So these are the arguments are always coming to acquire the transformation in teaching and learning, and hence we will have traveled less. This is the reason. Yes, are you with me? Whether you find these reasons are suitable, that why we have not traveled that much inside the transformation of teaching and learning through the use of learning resources. Right or wrong? Yes. Ungal sir says yes. Right. Okay. If we take a look on the cone of experience discovered by Egerdell in 1954, he states that reading can able to only memorize up to the 10%. Whatever we read, out of that 10% is get memorized. Hearing can memorize only up to the 20%, whatever you hear. If you view images, it can store the information up to the 30%. Same is happens with watched videos. Let me tell you a very fantastic one of the study done by Brian Winsick in 2006 on the identifying the verbal power. What he does, he admitted all the students inside a seminar room. Then he switched off the light inside the room. After switching off the light, he present toward the students a yogurt and tell the student that the yogurt that you have in your hand is of strawberry flavor. After the yogurt is get finished out, then the feedback is taken from the students. And 59% of the students says that yogurt was with a fantastic strawberry flavor. When Eager told to them that whatever yogurt I had supplied to you, it is of the chocolate flavor and not of the strawberry flavor. Interesting. So when a brain listens to words, then brain try to figure it out from the past memories. So this is the power of the words. If you can't able to hear, if you can't able to watch, if you can't able to watch, then only on the basis of words, whatever the information is a bombard, whatever the information is going toward your brain correlating with your past memories. And hence, the remembering capacity of the student goes on increasing from 10% to the 30% inside the views, images, and watching the videos. Further remembering is get increased if they are see and hear or watch various demonstrations. If they participate in hands-on training or if they design the collaborative lessons, then the learning is get increased or the memorization is get increased up to the 70%. And if they simulate a model or design and perform a presentation or the experiment where they actually perform the experiment at that time, the memorization is reaches up to the highest level, that is the 90%, and that is called as the active learning. And my dear colleagues, we have to put our student not here, we have to put our student in the active learning. If they are engaged inside the active learning, already we are achieve our desired output. So it is not only the case that you are designed or you develop a video, that video is sent to your students, but there are chances that it can't work, that your students are only passive learners, they are only getting the information from you, read it, and tell and face toward the examination. That's it. You will also find out the Bloom's taxonomy action verbs are going increasing from this side. So it is the highest level where you can achieve the highest Bloom's taxonomy level if they perform their own self. Then the students are taken back to learn. Now, question is that why we have to remember always this phone of experience, because now we are going to see about various types of e-learning resources, and then we will come to how to develop them. The very first and foremost e-learning resources is called the Learning Dialogue. Let me tell you, these words, that is, learning dialogue is the word which is coined by IIT Madras. They use this term as a learning dialogue. This learning dialogue is nothing but a content plus a reflection spot. The learning dialogue is nothing but a short type of the video, a short type of the audio. It can be an audio, it can be a video, which is used for a face-to-face communication or the synchronous or the asynchronous type of communication. It only contains an idea or a subtopic or a point. So you have to formulate a video for maximum to max length of the 15 minutes, because it is already a research out that the maximum retention time of the student is 15 minutes. Between these 15 minutes, you have to add a simple question toward the student. That simple question maybe comes at after 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 10 minutes. It is up to you where you want to add that simple question, where all the student has to reflect that question. And this is called as a reflection spot. By adding the reflection spot, you are not only keeping the attention of the student toward your dialogue, you also create the interest in them, what they learn before 3 minutes or what they are going to learn after that. Once the students have reflected toward your question, then it is always necessary to give a constructive feedback. Why this answer is correct and whether answer is shifted from this to this. This is called as a learning dialogue. So very simple one. It is of audio or it is a video of the 15 minutes based on a particular topic or a section or a point. Another is learning by doing. This learning by doing is first experience or it is discovered by American philosopher John Dewey. It is also called as experiential learning. So we all know that riding a bicycle it is not possible by reading out the books. Yes, definitely. We all know that. No doubt. Once you ride a bicycle, then you can catch up the things. So you have only learned when you are riding the bicycle how to ride a bicycle. Before that, it is not possible. So it is necessary that give some hands-on experiences toward the students, so that student can able to learn. They can interact with their environment in order to adapt and learn. For example, I will take the example of engineering that how water is able to generate the electricity. Then you can ask the students to go and watch the various dams, or you can visualize them with the 3D pictures. Why there is a narrowing canal at the outlet of the dam. Then you can show them different types of the things. You can send the students toward the internship, give them the projects, perform the activity, or ask the student to teach to the other student so that they can learn by doing the things. So if you give the seminar toward one student, he can learn more and more about that topic so that he learns by himself. So this is called as a learning by doing. In the Moodle, it is also possible. Learning by doing. Another is learner experience interaction. In this learner experience interaction, you have to give a focus question that is based on your discussion. Whatever you are discussing, you have to provide one question toward the students. Then students discuss it amongst them where the peer interaction can take place. And after that, you provide them a reflection quiz. This reflection quiz can able to find out that whether students have learned amongst them or not. It also shows a sustained engagement of the students in the discussion forum. Even after the class duration, even after your classes get over, students still are in the discussing mode and they are discussing various experiences, what they have, what they're thinking about the topic. So this is called as learner experience interaction. Another is a learning extension. So after your class, after your demonstration, after your explanation of the particular topic, you have to provide the students with the various resources. Like you have to provide the student with the books, with the notes, with the videos, with the audios, etc. So student will observe that, investigate on themselves, then check it out, and then the assimilation quiz will take place and where student has to answer. This is called as the learning extension. It is also called as learning trajectories, where after a particular topic, you have to give them the additional information about the topic that student has to assess on themselves. Another thing that I want to share with you, you can use the WhatsApp for your teaching learning processes, or you can use the WhatsApp as a learning resources. We are using this WhatsApp for playing the games with the students. When there is a first time, lockdown was started in the March, in the April or May something, we have taken out this activity. We have started to take out this activity inside our department. And very first game we have played on the WhatsApp. I use this learning resources to teach my students about the biochemistry subject. In the biochemistry, we have to talk toward the students that vitamin A source is that, vitamin B source is that carbohydrate is present here, sucrose is here, proteins, albumin is here, the iron, minerals are present in this. You have to tell them the richest source. Actually, telling the richest source and memorizing by the student, it is a low level of the Bloom's-Tax phenomenon. That is not a higher order thinking level, it is the low order thinking level. If you engage your lecture, if you engage your time in delivering that things inside the classroom, then you can't able to achieve or you can't able to touch toward the higher order thinking inside the classroom. So what I did, I sent them the PDFs that these are the richest sources of this, that. Then what we did, we give some rules and regulation for the game. The game should be played by a student, and some shows or the pictures or the selfies with the material that is asked inside the question should be sent back toward the admin. The very first picture which comes toward the admin will get the 20 marks or will get the 20 points. The second picture will get 15, third picture will get 10, and fourth picture will get 5. So in this way, the rules are get set up. Then we post one question, have a selfie with the richest source of carbohydrate at your home. So you can tell me what student will do? आप बताओ क्लास स्टूडेंट ने क्या किया होगा? Once we post a question, send the selfie with the richest source of carbohydrate present at your home. Student have a picture of the potato. उन्होंने ऐसा पोटैटो हाथ में लिया, सेल्फी निकाला और झट से हमें सेंड किया. In this way, now student knows that potato contains the starch. Starch is the carbohydrate. Rice or chapati? Yes, Deepak sir. Rice and chapati. Some students are also showing the corn flour, packet of the corn flour. At the next time, what we did, we had taken the games along with the one partner of their home. As we are in the lockdown, तो हमने हमारी फैमिली के एक मेंबर के साथ आप लोग यह गेम खेल सकते हो, ऐसा एक जजमेंट दिया. So this game not only stimulate the students, not only create the learning, but also develop the different skills inside the student, that they know the relationships, that relationship is building. So in this way, you can use the WhatsApp for the gaming purposes also. I can put that rules and regulation for the game so that you can also use that same to play the games with your students on the WhatsApp. So your students will also knows that WhatsApp can be utilized for the learning purposes too, and you can save your time, have the bonding with your student by such types of the activities. There are unlimited resources are available in the old teaching method, and in the now the technology is there. We have the number of the resources. In the old teaching method, we have the library books, we have the reference books, notes, handouts, OHP sheets are there. So we have limited learning resources over there. But now we have the huge sea of the learning resources where YouTube is there, SlideShare is there, Wikipedia is there, online e-learning resources, open educational resources are there, where national repository of educational resources. This is of our India, national resources, national repository of educational, open educational resources. Guru is there, NPTEL is there, National Digital Library of India is there. Whether National Digital Library of India has a 7.3 crores of learning resources present in that. But we have to search it very vastly to find out the best learning resources for us. N number of the university websites have their open educational resources that are freely available. Some are having the copyright for only the Indian names, and you can use that. So we have the unlimited resources available. Now in the old way, when you are dealing the lecture, that lecture leads to the reading by the students, and there's reading. High to high goes for the seminar or the large group discussion. But inside the newer technique, where you use the new technology, you have to send them a key question which is circulated among the students with the help of the web links or with the help of the online tools. Then that are point toward the resources, that the resources is sent by you toward your student, then student goes through that resources, and then that is responsible for posting an online discussion, then students discuss each other, your learning is get happen, then you come up and have the classroom, what students are going to learn, whether their thinking is right or not. Then this thing will again generate another question inside the student, and this cycle is a continuous one. Now the next question which is generated, again you have to send the material for this next question towards the student. Student read that, have the discussion, then you have the class session. In this way, the cycle of the learning is a continuous, and the knowledge is goes on increasing and increasing. So this is a drastic flexibility which is possible with the help of new technology. So among the main issues we hope to discuss in the forums, we have to discuss this. We have to discuss this on the WhatsApp. How do we find and manage the resources? Where from we find these resources? How we have to manage it? If somebody has the sources, that the resources available on this particular website, they are very good, you can post the particular website on the WhatsApp so that others can use it. One website is there, that is Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle will allows you to have the video. Suppose the video is for a 10-minute length, and between these 10 minutes, if you want to add the question here, if you want to add the question here, if you want to add the question here. So while student watch this video, when student watch this video, student has to answer this question when the video comes at this point. Without answering this, the video can't be goes further. Then video goes further, student has to answer this question, then this question. The ready videos are available at the Edpuzzle with the questions. You visit that Edpuzzle. You can use this Edpuzzle. You can register your students on the Edpuzzle, where the grades, if your students solve this question, This question is for 1 mark, this for 2 mark, this for 3 mark. Then this marking is directly recorded on the Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle can be synchronized with the Moodle. We can able to synchronize the Edpuzzle with the Moodle. This activity will be taken by Dr. Arpade. So I am not going to talk more about this, but you can have the ready available of the videos with the questions embedded inside the video. So you can have the good learning resources on the Edpuzzle which are valid. ऐसा नहीं होगा YouTube पे कुछ भी मिलेगा वैसा Edpuzzle में नहीं है. You can get the learning videos over there. How do we find which ones are good? This is the main. This is the very important. Which video or which resource is good for us? We must know about the copyright and licensing. So sometimes there may be, if you are using any video, if it has a copyright, then it may put you in a trouble. What are the best ways of using others' resources? दूसरों के resources हम कैसे use करें? Whether they are taken as such or whether we have to modify it before subjecting it toward the students. How do students pursue and respond to use resources? So these are some questions which we have to discuss inside on the WhatsApp. The final pause. There are lots of activities and lots of initiatives are taken by the external authorities, external people. Some professionals are there that are engaged to develop these learning resources. And there are enormous increase in the range and quality of the resources. Only thing is that we have to find out that now. But the question is that, does it mean we have transformed learning and teaching? Again, the same question. The abundance available of the learning resources on the internet. Now, in the previous question, you have said that we have traveled very less. Now, I told you that there are abundance of the learning resources are available in the form of open educational resources. Now, does it mean that we have transport learning and resources? This professor says that no, the two parties said that no, 50%, okay, not at all. Yes, not at all. Now the question is, if you find a good and appropriate learning resources from the website or from any other source, how to send it toward the student? After sending it, if you have the quiz, how to manage that quiz? So it is possible on the Moodle. All things is possible on the Moodle. You can send the videos toward the student, you can give the audio, you can give the different types of the questions. Different types of the question, you can post the assignments, you can have the assessment of the student. You can develop the interactive lessons on the Moodle. You can play the educational games on Moodle, have the feedback on a particular and each and every activity. The Moodle is available 24/7. It is possible to group the students. So slow learners can group in a one so that you can able to send them more material. So reading more material, experiencing more material, doing some extra activity, they can catch up toward the mainstream. It is possible with the help of Moodle. What the way we take word transformation? Transformation means whether we are going to use these online resources and whether online resources are capable to accomplish the goal of the student. That is the takeaway of the transformation. Actually, if you compare the traditional classroom, if you compare the traditional classroom and the now online classroom, in the traditional classroom, students are directly correlated with us with the help of our body language. Whatever the body language that we use inside the classroom, so With the tone, student can recognize that, oh, this is the basic topic and we have to memorize it, we have to learn it. Otherwise, whatever comes next, we can't able to learn. तो उन्हें वो समझ में आता था कि ये इसमें का धागा है, ये हमें सीखना है. This is possible in the traditional classroom. But inside the online classroom, now we are in the mode of learning how to goes in the online mode. Because the students are far away from us, they are not able to catch up our emotions. Though there is a live video, but live video, as my webcam is having hardly 2 pixels, so it can't able to catch up all the impressions. So how they are emotionally connected with us. So the word transformation means we have to use this newer technology. This technology will help to accomplish the goals of the student, that is recognized as a transformation. So by using the Moodle, we are not sage on the stage, but we are become a guide on the side and we are become a mentor inside the middle. So we not only search the various resources and send them toward the students, but we have to guide the students how to use the different resources and what is the takeaway from their resources. Now you can create your own resources or find out best for your students. You can find out the best resources. There are n number of the open educational resources. OER.com is the website where you can find out. There is a possibility that whatever you are searching, exact that is not able to find out. You can find out some different one. Some of the topics that you can able to find out, which topic बहुत अच्छे से explain किए हैं, that resources are readily get available. But to create on your own, you can take the help of PowerPoint to create the audio visual learning resources. So why the effective PowerPoint presentation? Why it is necessary to use the effective PowerPoint presentation? Because there are various visual aids are available. That visual aids attract the students, and these visual aids also creates the interest inside the students. The content which we create on the PowerPoint that looks impressive because of the colors, because of the backgrounds, because of the images that we use. Because of that, it looks as on whatever the animations we have given for our content. Because of that, it goes on impressive and impressive. The design of overall slide will attract toward the students, and it is easy to remember. Once the interest is created, then it is easy to remember. One research says that the retention time of the student is get increased if you effectively present your content through the PowerPoint. And last one, easy to understand the different concepts. So different mechanism is there. So with the help of animation, you can tell them how the things are happening, and it is easy for the student to memorize that or to recognize that, oh, these things are happening. This is the question for you, my dear colleagues. Do you think that PowerPoint will add a value in your presentation and the delivery? Please reflect inside the chat box whether it will add a value to your delivery. Yes. So many, my dear colleagues are saying that yes. So here are some do's and the don'ts on the PowerPoint. Very first thing is know your audience. Very first thing is that know your audience. To whom you are going to present, to whom you are going to deliver. If you know your audience, then it is very much easier to find out a suitable color, suitable font, suitable transition, and suitable animation inside the PowerPoint. If you are dealing with your colleagues, then you have to deal in a different manner. If you are dealing with the UG student, then different. And if you are dealing with the PG student, then different. So it is better to know your audience first. It is mandatory to keep it simple. Don't use, if the animation is available, don't put the extra animation on each and everything. Like here, you have to put the animation on the thumb, animation on this word, animation on this icon, animation on these letters. Don't do that. Keep it simple as that, but the things which should be animated, that should be. जो things animation के लिए हो ना, वो animation ही करना चाहिए. And follow minimum 6x6 rule. That means you have to add only 6 points on each slide. Only 6 points on each slide. Beyond 6 points, the slides will look muggy. That doesn't look nice, and that doesn't catch up the interest of your student. So it is better to have max to max 6 points on each slide. It is required to use the legible fonts that are very easy to read out and that are looks simple. It is better to use the 2 to 3 fonts. One font for the title is the different, and the font for the text is the different. At the same time, you have to use only 2 to 3 colors. Don't embed different colors into the slide. That will create a distraction in your student. If you have the different types of the color, different colors are gathered on one slide, that distract your students. And to break your content, if this is your content, then break this content into the chunks. At one point should be here, another. So chunking will distribute the whole content into a small points, and these small points are easy to design on one slide, and it is also very easy to present it. So you can design it in a memorable chunks. Like if you want to show them the processes, some simple processes of the machine, how the machine works, then you have to tell them this is the first process, then you have to tell them only the first process on one slide. Then you have to go for the second process. So this is called as the chunking. Don't tell them the whole process here, but go by stepwise. This is first, this is second. In this way, the chunking will create a memorization, more memorization. You can use the design template forms. Already designed template forms are available on the internet, which are free to use. Here are the 2 links. Slidescarnival.com, and another is the free PowerPoint templates design. You can have the screenshot of this so that you can use it and take the ready-made available. If you don't want to work more, this is good. ऐसा नहीं है दूसरे का लेना अच्छा है तो लेना ही चाहिए. I clearly said that अगर दूसरे का अच्छा है तो हमें लेना चाहिए. हमारा भी समय उसमें बच जाएगा. We can deliver more towards. Add a reflection spot. I already said that you have to add the reflection spot in between so that you can catch the attention of the student, and you can also have to prepare whether students are in line with you or not. So you have to add the reflection spot, a simple question inside your PowerPoint presentation or the video. At the same time, you have to memorize, have to remember some don'ts, like any random transition. Don't use such a random animation and the transition, slide transition between the body slides. Unnecessary text animation. Sometimes the people use that text. Yeah, ऐसे क्या आ रहा है इधर से आ रहा है कभी इधर से आता है. So don't use such animation. You don't read out only the slides. You have to add the different points onto the slides and then explain it toward the student. And stick to consistent color theme. Only use one color theme throughout your presentation. So one presentation where you can choose the another color theme. Color theme, it is very simple. You can choose from the PowerPoint. Here I am giving you the simple tips for creating a PowerPoint as well as create the video. Let's start. Are you with me? Yes, sir. Animation in PPT gives a better delivery. Yes. Very first thing is a start guides or the grid lines. The guides and the grid lines, let me back. Here you can able to see that. I think all are able to see these grid lines. There is a lines on the slide. Yes, it is visible. So these lines will allow you to put your various content exact from the equidistance. Suppose this is the slide, it is not look sketchy. It kaisa disturb hai. To make it in a line, what you have to do, you have to go into the view, and here are the options. You can start the ruler, grid lines, and the guides. Now here is nothing on the slide. Start them, that will allow you to place them on the equidistance. In this way, you can put them. They will become at the equidistance from each other. That's it. Now, all these four images are in the one line and same apart from each other. You can take the help of the alignment. Here is the line, you can take the help of that. But with the help of this, if you want to put these letters at the same distance, you can start the grid lines and the lines. Another is a drawing with the shift and control. If you want to draw the circle, the perfect circle is not possible. But you hold a control key. Now I am pressing a control key. Then I am taking the circle. And then if I draw a circle, circle is started from a middle. Where from means my pointer is become the center of the circle. Let's see one more time. Take a circle from here, press a control key. Now my pointer is here. Now this pointer is become the center of the circle, like this one. So this is a control and shift. If you want to have a perfect square or perfect circle, you press both control as well as shift, you have a perfect circle. No doubt whether you are moving mouse is on slide. आप माउस को किधर भी मूव करो, सर्कल परफेक्ट ही रहेगा if you press both shift and the control. This is happens with the same for the square also. If you press both, the square will always. अगर इसको छोड़ देते हो आप माउस और इसको दबा देने हो स्क्वायर में भी रेक्टेंगल, but if you hold both shift and that, then the square becomes a perfect square. So this is, you can take the help of shift and control button while you are drawing the square and the circles. You should know the power of the control D. It is the shortcut for the duplicate. Control D is the shortcut for the duplicate. So to build this, you require the various time, but you can have, now I select this rectangle, I make a control D, put it on a perfect order, this one. Now I am holding control D, it is apart from equidistance from one. Now if I hold this control D, now you can see how fast the squaring is done. So this is the power of the control D, you can use it. Control D is used for duplicate. You always take the help of an option present in the PowerPoint, that is convert to smart art. This is the option available inside the PowerPoint. Now I have written this text. It is mandatory to return the text in a different fashion. Now I have typed the text in a fashion that this is the topic, this is the subtopic, topic, subtopic. The tab is given here. This tab, if I go back, press here. Now both are taken as a topic. If I press the tab button over here, now it is a subtopic for this type one. Now these are the types of receptor and their small description is given. What you have to do, you have to just select the text box Then go into the convert to smart art. It is available in the home. Go into the smart art. Once you go into the smart art, there are n number of the options are available. Click on more, you will visible list, process, cycle. If you have the process, one process, two process, three process, then you can choose this process and smart art, then cycle, then hierarchy is there, relationship is there. Relationship, some pros and cons, some drawbacks, some benefits, some advantages, some disadvantages will be nicely explained, nicely represented with the help of this relationship. Then matrix is there, then pyramid is there, then picture is there, and then office.com you can search for more on the office.com. Here I am going to list out, and here I am going to select this one, that is a vertical block list. Once I have to click, the PowerPoint will do the remaining function. My text is get converted into a perfect art. Now you can change the color by going into the change color. You can change the color of this. You can have the different color to this. Now this is a smart art. This is smart art, and this is the description for this. If you double click on this, you will get an option here on the right hand side, convert, and convert it to shape. Then right click on it and make it undo. So everything is get distributed. अभी यह कोई एक नहीं है, सब अलग अलग हो गया है. You can give the different color and different animation to each and everything. So it is possible. Means within a click, your text will get converted into a beautiful, attractive, smart art. Right? Another is the eyedropper tool. If you don't know more about the colors, which color is the best suitable with another color, then you have to visit adobe.com. This is the website where you can get contrast color, similar color. You have to find out the various ranges. I think 1 crore of combinations are available on color adobe.com. Now let us go on the color adobe.com, and I will tell you how to take that toward the PowerPoint. Hold on. So I think my screen is not only PowerPoint is shared. So I am on the color-adobe.com. I will share my whole screen. Now the whole screen is shared. Yes. Now here is a color-adobe.com website. Here is the combinations of the colors is given. You can choose that. Now if I found this one is suitable, then what I have to do? I have to take this. Here is the button. You can save it for future purposes inside your computer. Just I am pressing a print button on my keyboard, print screen. I am taking it here. Then I am cropping it toward only the color combination. This strip is there, and this strip I will use it for my presentation. If I have this Control D, let's duplicate it. Now I have these two different rectangles, and I want this color into this. So I will select this, then go into shape fill, have the color dropper, and that's it. It will give the same color. Then I am going to this, then I will want this color, it will give this color to that. So in this way, you can take the colors. Don't only depend on the colors which are available in the PowerPoint. Go and explore your own colors from the color-adobe.com. There are monochromatic, triad, split, complementary, a number of the things are there. And explore that. Another is You always saw that somebody's PowerPoint presentation has a beautiful images, beautiful background, videos are there. So for images, you can find out the n number of the beautiful high pixel, high size images on unflash.com. You can search it on the base of biochemistry, on the base of engineering, on the base of robot, on the base of mathematics. You can search that and directly download it and use it for your PowerPoint presentation. Also, there is another website, Pexels, that gives you the small videos. That videos you can use as a background videos for your PowerPoint presentation. There is a one slide in my presentation that is with the background video. I will have this video. This is the one of the video. I will put it on the back side. So here I will go into the insert. There is an option, add a video. Go on the video, this device, select that video, where it is. Oh, sorry, this. Yes, creation video. Now the video is in the PowerPoint. Now the thing is that we have to put it backward. I send it backward. Now it is backward of our text. Now another thing is go into the playback. Now it is a video format, whether you want it. Now if you go into the playback, here in the click sequence, you select it and start automatically. When slides get started, it is directly get started. If I present this, the video is directly started inside the background. So in this way, you can use the videos inside the background also. Now, you can find out the best suited video for your topic and use it. That will attract the students, or that will create the interest inside the students. Another is effect of agonist on the inotropic receptor. Another is I want to show you some animations and the transitions. Suppose this is a text that you want to show to your students that inotropic receptors are embedded inside the membrane, blah, 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 blah. And this results into the cellular effects. Now this is the text. How this slide looks like? No doubt, if you break the slides into bullets, still it not looks like catchy. Now what you have to do? You have to convert this text into the animation. Now here is the color. Here is a agonist. Now you can change the color of the agonist. Oh, really, I don't want this color. You can give the agonist as a smart view. You can go into the shape. Into the preset and select the preset, so your agonist will look like it. Agonist is a drug molecule. Now you have to set up all the things. You can build these things inside the PowerPoint by having some manipulations. You can do this. This is the receptor. These are the ions. This is the ligand binding site. So the hyperpolarization shear effect. This is the outer side of the membrane, inner side of the membrane. Very first thing what we have to say, that agonist will bind with the receptor. For that, you have to select the agonist, go into the animation, select the path animation. Here you can have the lines arc, custom. I am selecting here custom and give the custom path. That's it. Now your agonist will move. Now the small marking should be necessary. Then hold on the alter button and make your agonist should be fit toward the binding side. Oh, that's not. Yes. Now, this will tell us that your agonist will come at the binding side on the receptor. It will get bind. This is our first animation. Go into the animation play. Decrease the duration up to 1 second. Now, after the agonist will get come, what's happened? The receptor will get moved. Then select the receptor one head. Select the line. By default, it is on the downward side. You have to move it toward the right. And make it for the 1 second, and it happens after the previous, and give the delay for 1 second. So once the receptor is get open, these anions these ions, whether anions or the cations, maybe as per the receptor, these anions will move inside the cell. Then again, they are moving inside the cell. Now I am selecting it and putting it inside. Now they are inside. Now I have to move more the anions. Now select this one, then go into the select this one, then go into the animation painter and select another. Another will move. Then again select animation painter, then select this one. Again select animation painter. This will move. Then again animation painter, this done. Animation painter, this will move. Okay, again go into the animation plane, select all over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, decrease the duration up to 1 second, and this will happen after previous. So once it happens, one by one they will come put the inside of the cell. That causes the hyperpolarization, give the white simple white animation to this, and then the arrow and the cellular effect again white animation to this. So this will happens. Right, that's it. Now our whole animation is get done. Let's see how it looks. So what is our inotropic receptors are embedded in the side, the membrane inside the membrane, they are ligand gated. So here are the inotropic receptors, they are embedded in the membrane, the organization will come, bind at the binding site inside the receptor, that causes conformational changes. And the ions from the outer side moves toward the inside of the cells. Movement of the ions inside of the cells causes the hyperpolarization of the cells and leads to the cellular effects, isn't it? In this way, animation will help to recognize the mechanism, what actual mechanism takes place inside the cell. So this is the example from the biology. You can have the animations for your engineering. The best animation will be created for the engineering also. So in this way, animation will also help. Some shortcuts are there. If you want to convert the screen black, just have the B button on the keyboard. So it will turn the screen into the black. Again, press B, it will come back. If you want a white screen, press the W button and use it as a whiteboard. Let me have it. Take it as a whiteboard. Now I am using a white screen. This white screen is working as a whiteboard for me. Again, if I press W, my original screen come back. W is a shortcut for the white. Then show hide pointer, then press the control. Now I am pressing the control. Now it is turns into the pointer. Same shortcut presentation time. If you want to draw, have control P, the pen will come. If you have control E, eraser will come. In this way, you can have the shortcut and draw something onto the PowerPoint. Now it's not good, you can erase it. To end the slideshow, you can put the escape. To add the hyperlink, you can press the control key, control A. A number of the shortcuts are there, but you have to work on that so that you will memorize that. Save the video option is available with the animations and the narrations. In the Office 2007, it is not possible. If you have the Office 2010 version, then you are able to save the PowerPoint presentation as the only Windows Media Video file. The WMV extension is there. You can save it. Then Office 2013 only WMV and MP4. In the Office 2016 many options are there. Let's see how it's working. There is an option inside slideshow. You have to animate all the PowerPoint presentation, then go into the slideshow and click on record slideshow. In the record slideshow, there are two options: record from current slide, record from beginning. If we click the first slide will appear. If I click this record from current, This window will open. This will show the record, stop, replay, to notes. Whatever you can return as a notes, these written notes are also visible to you. So this is not visible inside the video. You can read out these notes and have your presentation. You can increase the size of this note, you can decrease the size, you can clear the narrations on slide, and you can have the settings. You can have the video also here. I am going to start my video is used by the Google Meet, so it is not started, but here is the option to start the video. Here is a pointer. You can have the pointer. Here is the pen, and here is the highlighter. Here are the different colors are also available. Now it shows also timing. Out of the 68 slide, the 59 slide is there, and whole PowerPoint presentation and the narration is given, and this narration is in present slide. If I click on the record, the narration, the recording is get started. The narration is get started. It will use the timer to 3 on start. The animation will also get started. You are how to narrate it, narrate it. How the animation narrated, how the animation Office 2010, then in the Office 2013, then in the Office 2016, and the Office 2019. Here you can see that there is increase in the duration. Then once your slide is done, you can press escape. Then go for the second slide. You can go for the third slide. Likewise, if I go back and have this, here is a one speaker symbol appears. That speaker symbol indicates that here is the narration present. If I present this slide, you can have the question also get started. You are how to narrate it. Are you able to listen that narration? How the animation Office 2010, then in the Office 2013, then in the Office 2016, and the Office. Now the best thing is that if you narrate for whole PowerPoint presentation, suppose there are 10 slides and you find out that the fifth slide is not good, then you can only narrate the fifth slide. Nothing happens to the other slide. Other slide is as such. You can remove the fifth slide, or you can have the new narration. How? You can go in the clear narration timing from the current slide. Timing is removed, and also the narration. See here, the speaker symbol is get removed. Now the narration from this side only is get removed out. What's happened when you go for online video making? Once you have started, you have to be up to the mark for whole length of the video, but it is not happens in the PowerPoint. Now your mood is good, you can record for one slide, you can record for 10 slides, you can have your work, then come back, again you can record for remaining 5 slides, and then save this file as, here is the option, you can save it as MPEG4, MP4 video. You can save it as MP4 video, the video is get started. You can save it as Windows Meta file also. In this way, you can save your videos inside the PowerPoint with the best way to manipulate it at any time. Another way to create the video is a Screencast-O-Matic, and I'm not going to tell you how to go for the Screencast-O-Matic. If the mobile application is also there, you can record. But the maximum length of the recording is allowed by the Screencast-O-Matic on the desktop computer is 15 minutes. But on the mobile application, it runs for any length of time. You can use it for more videos. You can visit our YouTube channel of the department. Another best application is OBS Studio. Open broadcasting software, you can use that. So in this way, you can able to create a learning resources. So in the summary, I will say that learning resources are for accomplishment of the student. Definitely, they help the teacher to furnish the information toward the teacher, toward the student, but they are for the accomplishment of the student to achieve their goals. Choose or create learning resources as per need of the student and evaluate them whether they are achieving targets or not. If they are not achieving target, remove that learning resources from your course. Technology use make it easy to develop learning resources by having LBDs, learning by doing, and learning dialogues. Students are more engaged than usual lecture method. So here is the some sort of the summary that teaching learning resources are the different types. No issue to again recall or again study that things. So think creative, be creative. There may be the chances that what I found a good, interesting for my students, you may not found the same interesting or good for your student. It is better think creative, think in front of the students and be creative. Thank you very much. If you have any question, any doubt, please ask.
Balsanir sir, do you want to ask something? As you have raised your hand. So dear participants, this session is open for the discussion. If you want to ask something, you can ask now.
Thank you, Japtap sir. Thank you, Usha ma'am. OBS Studio is a role suited only for MS, Microsoft, yes, Office. Office is everywhere. OBS Studio will run. Now, the newer features are added in the OBS Studio. It is a fantastic one. You can go and download a new OBS Studio. That is a very good one. You can have the many options. If you want cut the video, you can want to join the video. You can have the overlapping sounds. You can have the images in between your video. It is possible with the OBS Studio. Such a dynamic editing is possible inside the OBS Studio.
So anyone want to ask something else? Yes, dear participants.
Yes, I will put in the PowerPoint presentation. I will also put that rules and how to play the video playing from the WhatsApp. That I will also put. In which version of PowerPoint the video recording facility is available? After 2010, it is available. 2010, only you can not able to save as a MP4. You can save it as a Windows Media Video. WMV extension. Office 2010 afterwards.
Raka sir, are you want to use ask something? Or you are giving just information? Sir Raka sir has given some inputs in.
Sometimes we sketches or photos from videos. Is there any specific way in which we can mention the source and forward? Sir, sorry for this. I have to show you. In the PowerPoint, you can convert the colorful images into a black and white sketch. It is possible. That depends on your content, which background, plain, white. That depends on your content, which content, whether you want to press. If your presentation demands some images inside your content, then use that. If your content doesn't demand, then why to go for that?
Yes, Power sir, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bansod sir, for your very informative session. Sir, I just want to add one thing. We can use that OBS presentation platform in a Zoom also. Same features like OBS. In a Zoom, that advanced where we can share the slide or share the screen, that time we can go instead of that regular sitting in advance. There is the PPT presentation is there, where we can teach the students with our video also. Near to similar way OBS like.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pawar sir, for your valuable inputs. Which Office version supports to OBS Studio?
Office version is not mandatory. It's the Windows is mandatory. Windows 10 will support. After Windows 10, here any version of Windows 8, after 8, 10, both are supporting for OBS Studio.
Okay, I hope the most of participants has cleared their doubts. Since from the beginning of these sessions, I have observed more than the 165 participants are in the meeting. So that was a very good sign. Okay, one more question is in chat box, sir.
How we use the hyperlink option in PowerPoint? Okay. I have hyperlinked some slides over here. If you are able to see, hyperlink in itself presentation or hyperlink is given toward the external link? What do you want? I have hyperlink. Now this is the slide, that learning dialog. Here you can see that 56 slide is a WhatsApp. Now if I go into the presentation, that learning dialogs come, learning dialog will take me toward 65th slide. It is possible. Hold on. So you have to select that particular area, then go into the Control K. It is available inside the insert. Insert, there is the option hyperlink. You can go over there and then add, or simply you can have the Control key and then select here, place in this document existing web pages or files. You can have the web pages or files, create new document and the email address. If you are synchronous with the Outlook.com, then it is possible to directly send the emails. Then in this place, that then if I save it toward the first slide, this is I am linking toward the first slide. Okay, got it. Then if I click on this, I will move toward the first slide. So in this way, whether you want to hyperlink, you have to select that. Suppose you want to hyperlink this area, by clicking on this, Control K, then select the place inside the document, whether you want to go, on which slide you want to go. Then go OK. Then you want to, when you click on that, when you click on particular that area, now this is the area of this shape. So if you click on this, you will get that particular slide. This is the hyperlink. Yes, got it, sir? Yes, Kalpesh sir, got it? Okay, thank you, sir. Explain how you created slide of cone of learning. The- Sir, actually, I have 2019, Office 2019 I have. So while creating that, insert a new blank slide. I am opening in this way a triangle. Now this triangle will become into the middle, center, middle. Now this is perfectly inside the middle. Then I have taken this, then give it a black color. Now this one. Now I am putting Control B. I want this B. Are you looking, sir? You watch this thing. So in this way, I have break up this, then select that all, go into the shape format, merge format, and there is option subtract. Now everything is get subtracted. Now this is developed for a one particular area. It is one. If you want to have a particular different shape, you have to do it twice, thrice, fourthly. Then you can break this triangle into the different pieces. That option is available after 2013, Office 2013. After that, this option is available, that is merge shapes. You can merge the shape that if you observe that a receptor is there, that receptor is built like this. So you have to select all these three, go into the there is union option. This is the one, put it, go into the rotate, flip horizontal, this is the receptor. So in this way, we have to build. So this option is available after Office 2013. Now I have 2019, so it is possible for me to bring the shapes into the pieces. Okay, sir. Once सीखने के लिए थोड़ा सा हार्ड है, एक बार आप लोग सीख गए तो इट इज वेरी मच हैंडी. And once you try to explore the PowerPoint, you can have the generate different ideas how to present this particular topic, particular thing towards the student. You can get that ideas. Okay, sir. If you are using 2019, then it is available. You have to select two shapes. Both shapes are get selected. Go into the shape format. There is availability of that. Merge shapes. Inside the merge shape, you can union, you can subtract, you can intersect. And more is there. One more is there. You can have a combination. Something is there. Okay, thank you, sir.
So now I would like to request Dr. Paresh Mahaparade sir to conclude the session.
Hello, good afternoon to one and all. Very nice presentation by Dr. Bansod. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Very nice session by Dr. Bansod. He has highlighted on the various tools which we can use. Creation of learning resources. Session was found to be very nice, informative. And the concept he has explained in a very simple, lucid language with the day-to-day examples. So he has given his own practical examples. That is a good thing. learning resources, it should be supportive, it should be enriched and enhanced, it should create interest, stimulate the interest in the mind of learner also. Learning resource creates opportunities to teachers and students regarding discussion, question answers, interactions, and to achieve desired outcome. Dr. Bansod told about functional role of teaching, learning resources, role of technology, and how the future will shift to 5G. So he has highlighted and emphasized, and just now I've seen the discussion was going on since long, and people have taken, participants have taken the keen interest. New technology provides wide range, which are available as sources, resources. New learning enables new models of curriculum design that improve the assessment and feedback system, new flexible learning spaces. Then the session was interactive. He talked about reflection spot, which was brainstorming, and this will keep the participants alert. The slide cone of experience he has explained very nicely, and it was very informative. E-learning resources, we used to talk always about the e-learning resources. He has explained it in a lucid language. E-learning resources, the buzzword. So now that is which gives learning dialogues, learning by doing, learning by experience, interactions, quiz. Sir also showed his experience of using WhatsApp for learning. How to make effective presentation was demonstrated very nicely. So he has given the various tools, how to make the effective PowerPoint presentation. He just now talk about MS 2019, how it has to be used. Then what are the softwares freely available for making the images, for making the videos. So overall, the session was found to be very nice. So he has explained about animation, transition, and that it makes the teaching more effective. But the basic thing is that excessive use of this also, so wherever it is required, it has to be used. And in this pandemic situation, COVID, definitely it was a boon. So many of us have studied many more things because of the online teaching. But the basic knowledge is important, and what I personally think that, so wherever it is required, some knowledge, basic knowledge is required, and some applied knowledge for making this presentation effective, it is required. But the basic essence of teaching we should not miss. So teaching and learning is very important. So this is the additional tool, and we have to use this tool for making the presentation effective. I must congratulate Dr. Prashant Argade sir and his team for making this Atal program, so ICT Training and Learning Academic Program, on effective OB implementation using learning management system. So we wish to have such type of the sessions in future also. So thank you Bansod sir, Dr. Argade sir, for giving me an opportunity to chair the session. Over to you, sir. Argade sir.
Thank you very much, sir. So dear participants, I hope you have enjoyed these sessions. It is the most interactive session. Some practical aspects are there. If you want to some takeaways from this session, so I would like to add something more. So there is a need to be an update. Means you have to shift now from Windows 7 to Windows 10 if you are using the Windows 7. If you are using the MS Office 2007, 2010 or 2013 or 16, it's a time to shift over the MS Office 2019 also. So Windows 10 and MS Office 19 is the updated versions. So if you want to create effective learning resources, so there is a need, we have to shift towards the updated version of all softwares. So with this note, I am very much thankful from the organizing team of Department of Pharmacy to the Dr. Bansod sirs. And in this regards, as a token of appreciations, as a token of love, we are just awarding the e-certificates to the Kuldeep Bansod sirs for delivering the most interactive sessions on creation of learning resources. So thank you, Bansod sir, and kindly accept this.
Thank you very much.
So in very short period of time, Dr. Mahaparade sir has accepted our invitations to chair these sessions. So from the Department of Pharmacy, Government Polytechnic, Jalgaon, I am also thankful to the Dr. Paresh Mahaparade sirs. And here we are giving the e-certificates to the Mahaparade sir. Please accept it, sir.
So thank you very much, sir.
So thank you very much. Such a kind of cooperations we require in future also. So we know that you will be always here for us. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So with this, we are at the end of this session. So I request to all the participants kindly join at 3:25. Our session will start at exactly 3:30 p.m. So have a good day. Thank you.